So I'm going to present Julien Schuh. Julien is a senior lecturer in French literature and digital humanities at Université Paris-Nanterre. He's also the deputy director of the Maison des Sciences de l'Homme Monde and the main coordinator of the PictorIA consortium, which is going to talk about today. And this consortium aims to promote interdisciplinary research on automatic pattern recognition in social sciences. So his presentation today is entitled AI Toolkits for the Social Sciences and Humanities, a closer look at ModoApp, BioA, ENCOP, and PictorIA.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks a lot for giving me the opportunity to present this new consortium. So I will be speaking today, as Servan said, as the main coordinator for this consortium, which is based on the idea of using AI on massive visual data in social sciences. But to explain this consortium and to explain its goals, its premises, and so on, I wanted to give a little bit of genealogy to explain how we managed to create this consortium, and by looking at a few projects that have been developing since 2019 around the question of machine learning, AI, and the creation of toolboxes for social sciences, and to see how it built up towards this consortium. So the question, the premises of these different projects were a few questions that arose or emerged when dealing with the question of digital humanities, numeric digital tools, and their application to the corpora and the kind of epistemological question that we had in the social sciences. One of the questions was the question of mass digitization. So we have a massive scale of objects, of digital objects available now through archives with thousands, millions of documents online, of books, of pictures, of periodicals. We have seen what Gallica and the BNF can offer, and many of these objects have never been analyzed, and this is like an invisible heritage that we have to deal with. The second question was the emergence of AI tools, which everybody talks about now. So we have seen that AI and machine learning tools that automate the analysis of large corpora are currently dominated by major tech companies like Google, like OpenAI, and so on. And they are influencing a lot research direction and the kind of research question that we can ask to this object and to these tools. So there is a significant gap between the capabilities of tools developed by this kind of tech giants and the actual needs and challenges faced by research in the humanities and social sciences. Because these tools that we have seen, ChatGPT and so on, or Google Vision, they were primarily designed for contemporary natively digital data and driven by commercial interest, often at the expense of genuine insight. And there are a lot of limitations in these models, inherent flaws in today's AI models. We have seen a lot of examples of this kind of limitation because of the way they were created, of the people that annotated the data, and the lack of capability to prioritize information. The information is not really structured, in fact, in most of these models, and that makes them unreliable for exploring data from the past, because we lack historical or contextual frameworks in these AI models, for example, that can lead to misleading interpretation of historical or localized culture. So this was a real challenge for researchers, and also the third question that arose was the question that was just given by Clarisse, with how do we get these kind of tools to a researcher? Because they want to adopt these new things. Everybody say, okay, I want to use these AI tools or these machine learning tools, but I don't know how to code, and I don't have an engineer with me, so how can I do it? So it was to address these kind of challenges that since 2019, we tried to develop what we called AI toolbox projects. project aimed to provide digital analysis tools for institutional collection and tailored to meet the specific needs of research in the humanities and social sciences. So I will be discussing a few of the challenges, a few of the outcomes of these artificial intelligence toolbox projects that have been developed in the recent years at different laboratories at the Université Paris-Nanterre and in the LabEx Les Passés dans le Présent, and now in Humanum. And so this project include ModoApp, PictorIA. I won't be speaking about PictorIA because I won't have enough time. Icon and the newly created consortium PictorIA. The idea is really to redefine the role of AI tools in cultural data, to see these tools as new actors in the process of selection, processing and dissemination of cultural data, and to emphasize the critical importance for researchers in humanities and social sciences to control and to understand these tools because they become crucial in managing and interpreting cultural and historical data. So the first project that I will be discussing is the project ModoApp, Modèle et outils d'apprentissage profond. So it was a toolbox for AI toolbox for humanities. And it was aimed to provide easy-to-use tools enabling teams and the general public to master digital humanities methods and techniques, especially in AI, and to generalize their use within the scientific community between students, heritage institutions, curators, archivists, and so on. One of the main goal that we had when we tried to create this toolbox was to have a real interdisciplinary collaboration and between different kind of teams and of public, because we didn't want the tools to be only created by researchers. We wanted them to be created through a dialogue between researchers in different disciplines. So there were historians, education historians, linguists, literature and media specialists, between engineers, between curators, between librarians. So we had librarians from the BNF and from La Contemporaine in Nanterre, and from different researchers working together on massive objects and to try to create together these tools. Because one of the main idea that was behind this toolbox is that it's really good to create tools, but you need not only someone to curate the tools, to manage them in the long run so that they can still work in a few years from now, but also we need to create a culture from the users, to create a community that will appropriate the tools and grow with them. So we really wanted everyone around the table to become involved in the creation of these tools. And we also decided not to just create a tool out of nowhere, but to decide on a few cases that we wanted to work on, so that it would answer a real historical or humanities question, and to go from the question to the creation of the tools and not the other way around, to operationalize the question, as Franco Moretti would put it. So we worked on different kinds of objects, photojournalism, image collection, illustrated periodicals, school toolbox with hundreds of thousands of pictures and text covering a broad period and with different perspectives. We wanted to try to do some document segmentation, to search for similarities between texts and picture, to classify objects, the kind of things that you know how to do with AI, but when you are a researcher in humanities, you are not always up to date with this kind of question. And it was also a collaboration with Humanum, so the infrastructure Humanum and the data lab at the BNF, to get a dialogue, because they also wanted to be part of these groups to observe emerging practices in tool-assisted research, to identify tools that could be generalized and industrialized at the level of service offered by this institution. So we developed a few prototypes. You can see them on the website. I will just give one example from the kind of work that we did in ModoApp, with the example of the Élie Kagan's archives. Élie Kagan was a photojournalist During the 1960s to the 1980s, he gave all of his archives to La Contemporaine, and so the Contemporaine has tens of thousands of digitized picture from Kagan's work. So the archive is really vast. You've got all these photographs, all these negatives. This is an archive that has not been really structured. There is no real coherence in the way that these photos are held together. And so one of the main questions that we wanted to answer with this project was, how can we explore this kind of archives where there is almost no metadata? You have boxes with digital boxes with tens of thousands of pictures, but there is no relevance between them. You can have two pictures side by side. One would be of an intimacy scene with the child of Elie Kagan, and the other one would be a mass, demonstration in the street. So how can you get some information in these things? The question was, how do we recontextualize the archive? How do we give meaning to what is inside these objects? How to bring these archives to life and to enable a form of active remembrance? Because the idea was also to try to go from the documentary order to the living disorder of the social world, and to use AI as a way to recreate links and recreate meaning in this vast archive, sensing that machine vision tools could be, in fact, cognitive tools to recreate on a massive level the kind of cognitive process that we human can have when we explore this kind of object, but that we can't do when we are faced with so many pictures. A few examples of what we did. No, I won't be presenting that because it's too complicated. No, or maybe just. No, maybe. One of the things, for example, that we wanted to do, a really simple task was to extract illustration in magazines, because we have all these pictures from Kagan and wanted to see where they were published. But before we can see that, we needed to extract illustration from the pages of the magazine where we worked to get some similarity algorithm to match them together. This task is rather complicated. There are a few tools that exist today, and we had a few examples yesterday, I guess. But the question is that each time that you have a different kind of magazine, and each time that you have a different layout, the tools are not really efficient on this kind of new data. So we wondered, how can we annotate these images so that we have better results with the algorithm. And rather than annotate the things, because we didn't have enough people to annotate all these pages, we decided to use the information that was already present in the data given by the BNF. So in the BNF you have this, where is my, no, yeah. XML Alto pages that tell exactly each block if it's a part of a title, a part of an article, a part of a picture, a caption, and so on. So you already have all this information that has already been annotated and that is readily available through an API. So instead of using annotators or going to Amazon Mechanical Turk, for example, we can already use all this information that has been created by curators, archivists, and so on since for a long time, and that is already available for research to train our models. And that is something also, as a side note, that is getting complicated. For example, the BNF acknowledge that OpenAI, for example, started to go through its API and to download massive amount of information from the Open API, which is what it was meant to do, but not on this kind of scale, and the servers broke down because of that. So they are restricting the access to the APIs because you have like something a common here, but that is being appropriated in a way that wasn't thought of before, and that is the kind of problematic, but this is something else. So we used this API here to train our model, and we got some really pretty good results. I won't be getting into all this because I see that the time is flying. I will just show a few examples of how we used a few tools to see meaning in this object. For example, to try to see all the swastikas in the collection, because Elie Kagan was Jewish and was very scared by the anti-Semitism that was growing at the time, and he got a picture of all the swastikas that were appearing everywhere in the public space. And it's this kind of interesting object that we can see through the archive, but that are not visible from the outside because you don't know where they are in the archive. So very quickly, I will be speaking a little bit about the ICON project that emerged from this first project, because we wanted to try to unify the methodologies and the tools that we were creating before in ModoApp and PictorIA to apply them to a specific object. And this object was the exploration of conflict photography from the late 19th to early 20th centuries, and to use AI to try to reconfigure and give new meaning to this siloed archive. So here you have the team of the project and the various partners that were part of the project. It was, as you see, an international project, and the goal was to delve into the visual culture of a transformative period in photography and to employ AI to examine fragmented archives linked to colonial documents, address inherent bias, and navigate ethical consideration related to sensitive image content. So, for example, the corpus of the project was all the armed conflicts, visual culture of the end of the 19th and beginning of the 20th century, and with the goal to de-invisibilize conflicts that have been rarely present in contemporary visual culture. We had two main questions: how to identify and manage sensitive content in the archive, because it was really racially complex archives. And the second question was how to ensure that the digitization process does not perpetuate the archive's colonial ideology, so that we don't just recreate a new colonial archive, and so that people are aware of the kind of bias that is inherent in these objects. So we used AI technology to recreate missing data, to link objects in the database, to try to deconstruct the archive and to create new paths to circulate in them through the linking of similar pictures, to document the circulation of this picture in the press. Through we also use a few of pose estimation to try to see the evolution of the way people were represented in this archive. I won't be giving too many example because this is the end of my time. So for the few minutes that are left, I just wanted to speak about the there are much too many pictures. Just to speak about the PictorIA consortium. So the PictorIA consortium emerged from these different projects, and it is focused on analyzing digital visual corpora in the humanities and social sciences using artificial intelligence tools. It is supported by the Maison des Sciences de l'Homme Monde, and it continues the initiatives of the LabEx Les Passés dans le Présent. And it aims to bring together interdisciplinary research on automatic pattern recognition in the humanities and social sciences through different objectives. So here you have the team and the different partners, founder of the consortium. The idea is to unite the communities that are the same kind of question, to produce common guidelines, to develop prototypes, to identify existing solutions, and to enhance their usage through trainings, through valorization, through testing, to produce case studies and reusable models, and to generate robust test corpora to train models and to measure technical issues to overcome. So here are a few of these objectives of the consortium, and we are creating a few working groups with three big axes. One is around data, so we are going to try to develop data sets that can be used for historical data with a question around how do we label this kind of corpora? Can we standardize annotation around among different partners? How do we align metadata with existing referential and so on? So we want to create training data sets, models already trained to be used on this kind of objects, and to make them available for a large public. The second axis is the question of processing exploration. So we will try to build tools for image classification and segmentation, tools to connect pictures in different silos. So once again, the idea is not to recreate tools already existing, but to try to cartography the thing that works today, and to see how people are using this kind of tool today in the different institution and research facilities, and to get together around the table to work collectively. And the third axis is the axis of dissemination. So we want to train people together. That was what I was saying at the beginning, so to create a shared culture around these objects, to develop interdisciplinary protocols, and to create platforms that could be used by a lot of people. We have seen today a lot of platforms, so I just wanted to finish by saying this is a call for help. There are also already a lot of partners of this consortium here today. If you're interested in joining the consortium, if you are interested in presenting your tools in the consortium, if you want some help also to develop some of these tools, or to get some audit, or to try to find cases to try your tools on different corpora and so on, this is the place to be. So please come together with all the partners in this consortium, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Julien, for this very rich presentation. Maybe we have any question in the room? Class.
I was wondering, just Melvin yesterday pointed the difficult task to do the watch, because artificial intelligence is moving so fast. There is a new algorithm every day. So how will you organize the watch in the consortium, and how will you publish the result, or maybe recommendations and so on? Because this is one of the very first questions we have when we have a data set. It's what would be the better algorithm and the simplest one to use?
Yeah, that's a great question. We'll be creating a website where with tutorials and so on, so that people can get to understand and get their hands on this object. We are really, we want to work with scripts so that it could be easily and readily available for everyone. But the big question is, what algorithm or what solution do we choose? Because, as you said, there is a new model or a new algorithm every 2 weeks almost, and each time it's like it's the best. But when you see the difference in efficiency, most of the time it's negligible. And for the kind of task that we want to do, I don't think that it's interesting to have 0.2 better efficiency for the model. So since this kind of algorithm and tools need to be perennial, to become kind of standards so that people at the BNF can still use them in 5 years or 10 years. We have to choose carefully, but things that are maybe not the most efficient or maybe not the most complicated or up-to-date or à la mode, as we say, but the ones that are most easily integrated into the working pipelines. So this is, I think, the main thing that we are going to try through this cartography that I was talking about. It's to say, okay, these tools do the trick. They do the jobs. They are not too complicated. They are not, one of the other questions is the economical and ecological impact of what we are doing. So we don't need AI for everything, and if something can be done without AI and just with an Excel file, it would be better. So to carefully decide, okay, this is enough for what we have to do, and so that it could still be available in a few years. I don't know if it answers the question, but...
Yes.
Hi, thank you. Can you just clarify who the we is? So you mentioned the BNF, the researchers. Is this researchers in humanities and social science supporting the BNF? Because like if I'm a TV scholar, sometimes that 0.2% really matters for my corpus. And that 0.2% could be misclassifying people by race or gender or all kinds of other things. So the 0.2 can really, really matter for people. So just who's we? I'm trying to figure out who's the audience for all of this and who's the tool built for?
So the audience is, it's rather large for the consortium. It's like archaeologist, anthropologist, art historian, literature historian, audiovisual historian, infocom, which is like information and communication. We also have, it's rather large. So I think there are different level of granularity and of complexity in this in the question. And yeah, to answer your question, yes, for certain public, I think this can be important. But to answer it, it's when you say 0.2%, it could be important. But if it means needing all-in infrastructure and a lot of GPUs and so on, and an engineer specialized in these things, maybe a more robust, not so efficient, but also not so difficult to approach can suffice. I don't know. It's a matter of economy.
So we can take one last question.
Just to precise that I'm Nicolas Larousse from Humanum, so I'm concerned by this consortium. And the main goal of this consortium is to get the possibility to put different kind of skills together, you know. That means that normally in the French system, it's very difficult to put people from libraries, people from research, people from archive, National Archive, from the BNF together. And this is one of the goals of the consortium of Humanium.
So we can take one last question from Clarisse, because she's the boss.
No, I'm just, it's a privilege. All the partners are very French, which is okay, and it's good, we need it. But if there is a European dimension planned, or even an international one, I don't know.
Yeah, there is a few. Humanium Consortium are national consortium at the beginning, but we have a lot of incentive to get international. We have a few international partners like the CRIN here and the Image Center in Toronto. And we are also working with Thomas Smith, and I wanted to, Melvin is not here anymore. No. Yeah. So we are also going to work with him. But as I said before, this is a call for help. So it was really important also for me to be there together with people from outside of France and the European Union to be able to show this consortium and to say, okay, please come work with us.
Thank you very much, Julien.